Thanks for tuning in. September is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I want to talk to you a little bit today about suicide. Suicide takes between 17 and 20 plus members of our armed services and veterans of our armed services every single day. Plus, it affects many people and families throughout our country. There are some specific things that you can do if you suspect someone is at risk of suicide. So the most important thing, guys, is to ask. Asking about suicide. Are you thinking about harming yourself? Are you thinking about ending your life? Have you thought about committing suicide? That is really uncomfortable. And I ask it on a daily basis. And it's uncomfortable every time I ask it, but it is a necessary question when you love somebody, when you care about them. So times to consider asking this question, there's some warning signs to be aware of. So obviously, if someone is talking about killing themselves, you need to ask them, do you have a plan? Or do you have weapons? Do you have the means by which to do it? Overdosing on drugs, jumping off a bridge, sitting in a garage with a car running, putting a gun to your head, these type of things. If someone complains of feeling hopeless, or they say they have no reason to live, or they feel like, well, everybody would just be better off without me. They feel like a burden to others, or they feel trapped, or they're in unbearable emotional or physical pain. These are warning signs. Other warning signs, behaviors that might signal a risk of suicide, or sudden changes in their behavior. They've been going along the same way for a while, and all of a sudden you see a change in their behavior that's drastically. Increased use of alcohol or drugs, searching online or talking about ways in which to end their life, withdrawal from activities or relationships, becoming isolated, sleeping too much or sleeping way too little, calling people, visiting people to say goodbye, to end relationships, giving away very important possessions to people, severe fatigue or aggression. Mood can change significantly. Obviously, if you see a big change in their mood in terms of depression, anxiety, loss of interest in normal pleasurable activities, increased irritability, expressions of humiliation or shame, increased agitation or anger, or if you see them suddenly go from being depressed to feeling at peace or happy, some relief or sudden improvement, that could be a sign that they feel relief or sudden improvement because they know that the pain is going to end once they end their life. So the QPR process, which I've been trained in before, is called question, persuade, refer. So ask the question, and don't say just, are you thinking about hurting yourself? Because if they're in significant pain and they're thinking that suicide is an end to that pain, they're going to answer honestly, no, I'm not thinking about hurting myself. They're thinking, I'm going to end the pain that I'm experiencing. So be more specific in your question in terms of, are you thinking about ending your life or committing suicide? Persuade is, do your utmost best to persuade them to get help. If they are at serious risk of suicide and they're not willing to ask for help, you got to refer out. You've got to call 911. You've got to call somebody for help, do an intervention, do whatever you need to do to save their life. Because while they might be really angry with you for stopping them, eventually they will thank you once they come out of their depression and are being functional again. So be willing, ultimately, potentially, to lose a friend to save their life. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me on my website at stapletonconsultingservices.com, via email at stapletonconsulting@gmail.com, or directly on my cell at 904-502-1952. Please thank a veteran or a first responder for their service. If you are thinking about ending your life, please reach out for help. Please call the suicide hotline, and I will put that on the screen. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please reach out if you have any questions.